where my wool comes in from. Main source, Stockholm. Ugh. Stockholm and Visby, but still Stockholm. Ugh. Stockholm makes loads of mead, which is very, very low on the pecking order right now. So I think I will take all my mead people and tell them to, holy crap, for one, ship your mead for a change. Otherwise, sheep your mead, because you guys are working the sheeperies. So there must be a guy here. Wow, I don't have a Stockholm mead runner. Either that or he's tiny. LMNAPQRS. Now this is the stuff I really enjoy compared to the city building. Actually getting my stuff moving. Stockholm to Rostock, Mead, Bafuna is tiny. Utterly tiny. So we're going to get you back to Nishstead and fill you up with more ships. Quite a bit more ships. Where are our cogs? Not sure if I got enough cogs for this. Stockholm's production of mead comes from 151 of you. Now each mead production facility gives me 2 mead. So what's that? 300 mead per day? And it's a 6-day journey, so let's say 300 times 6 is 18. Wow, okay, you'd think this would be fine. But factor delays into that. We got something else, so let's just cog you up a bit better, shall we? And get back to it. Since I've vastly reduced the production of mead, that should balance out in due time. Okay, so with that, Stockholm now produces plenty of sheep. Each of these farms will give me 4 per day. So that's a great amount coming in. And there's still more to be built, but that's a good starting point. So with these sheep farms, 111 of them. Is that really as many as I told to be there? No, the total amount is going to be about 300 from Stockholm. 350 in fact, or 349. So I should prepare something in readiness of that. Again, it's 6 days, 349 rounded up to 350. Times by 4 is 12, 13, 14, 1400 per day. Times 6 days, 6, 7, 8. So if we want to be really safe, we'll give it about a 10,000 cargo capacity, which is 5 carvels. I have 1 spare carvel. Not ideal. So I need to find somewhere that has some carvels going spare for me. This might seem like total favoritism here, but like I said, it's important that I get my that I get everything I need for the production of boats flowing, because we're going to need a lot more boats. So I'm going to have 5 carvels for me. Visby has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. Going to grab one of my spare autos. Whoever you are. The Shitatsu Show! Nice. We're going to name you after your heir, just to make it shorter. Shitsu Show. Not Sitsu, Sean Connery one. Shitsu. And you will be the Stockholm to Rostock wool. Shitsu Show. And you're right, he's just a single Snickers, I think, right now. So what good could he be? Well, after he ditches his goodies, we can admire the fact that he's a 0555. Imagine you got a general that was 0555. You'd be over the moon. So we get you over to Visby, ding-a-ling, and we give you these carvels. And we ditch the Snickers, because who really cares about it? And we give you that new route, Stockholm to Rostock. Go to Stockholm, get the wool. All the wool. Then go to Rostock and dump the wool. All of the wool. Stockholm to Rostock, wool. Great. Jake, are you sure it's okay to show Stockholm on stream? It looks Gratuitously easy. Gratuitously easy. Gratuitously ugly. Ugly, easy. Yeah, Stockholm is a bit not safe for work. I mean, ugh. And in-game it doesn't look much better either. So I'm not proud of it, but... Hang on, did I see what I think I saw? No, the AI built buildings here. Which is okay, I guess. Heaven only knows where the AI is going to find to build buildings. And I'm short 6 warehouses here, which isn't good, but I think I've used up all the buildable areas. And I can use the... Oh, well. It's amazing what you can find when you just look. This is the kind of stuff that the AI is going to excel at doing. Finding little gaps in my building network here, where they will sneak these things in. I will not appreciate it from them. There we go, I got no problem going over on my warehouses as long as I take up space that the AI is going to use. Beautiful Kongsberg. Just because I was thinking about AI there. No? That looks like somewhere that the AI would squeeze in a building. They're that kind of person. Oh well, I don't trust it whatsoever, so here. I'm gonna take it up with some small wells. Better. So we got our clay pits built up here, and even this is too many people making wine. We'll drop it down to 10% production, 5 per day, just so we can get this. Wow, 1,500 a day flowing, and that's only half of it. So they're going to make about 3,000 every single day. Yeah, more than 3,000 a day. So I need to grab that brick guy. He's going to be Kongsberg to Rostock brick. Yeah, you know your alphabet, Jake. E, F, G, H, I, J, K. Kongsberg to Rostock brick. He can hold 12k, but he takes 5 days. He needs to be 5 times 3,000. So yeah, he needs to be even bigger. Well, I'm sure he'll get big. Alright, now what we can do, I'm going to save here because I'm ever prudent, is that we can just watch things unfold for a bit. I've done, okay, not all I can, but I've done a fair bit to make sure things flow. The one thing I'm a little disappointed about is the lack of pitch that flows. But Gotham City could just... 241 a day isn't bad. I guess Visby needs to catch up in a similar respect, but they are building, which is good. Where's my pitch, Visby? Yeah, the pitch makers are working hard. So what we can do is kind of let things flow. As long as nowhere starves, and I'm confident they won't, we'll be good. I'm liking the lack of attacks on my land convoys. That's a... oh, well, there... Oh, okay. There we go. Thanks, game. Needed that. Needed all of that. So if I keep an eye on how Rostock's doing, the grain is doing well. The cheese is doing fine. I'm so glad I've got all this meat backed up right now. The tools are plentiful. And the building materials are... Could be that that wood just needs to get around a bit more. But when we look at the these ship places, yeah, the pitch apparently is not flowing as much as it needs to be. And it's not like we're backed out of the door with pitch here in Rostock. So I really think there's a lot to be said for bumping up that pitch production. Even though it eats up wood, which we're currently very short on. I mean, Gothenburg can't even make any pitch right now because there's just no wood to go around. But this is a problem that will solve itself as buildings get built. It's just going to take a while to mass up those building materials that we need. And that's just something to accept. Like I said, lots of my supply convoys stopping now. But that's okay. We can let a bit of time flow like this. There's no hurry. Lübecker wood is looking good. They're not just drinking it all, are they? I mean, they're producing a fair bit, but I'm fairly certain I have a wood guy. Lübeck to Rostock honey, Swole Mania. There's not a lot of honey for them to take, but I'm sure they take it. Didn't I set up a wood guy? No, actually all this Lübeck wood stuff is fairly new. So there probably isn't a Lübeck wood runner. HIJK, Lübeck to Rostock. Honey only, there needs to be a wood guy. When it comes to wood, we're going to produce 450 times 6 of it. It's rounded up to 500, 6, 3,000 a day. And this must only be 2 days. So I would only need 6,000 capacity. And would you look at that, we have a bunch of Carvels right here. So I'm grabbing one of my other auto guys. The Auto SS Master. Can, well, I'll just move him and then I'll do all the naming lark. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 6,000. Drop the cog. Surely this won't take more than 2 days. 2 days. Go to Lübeck, grab the wood. Even if this is a little under, I'm fairly certain that Lübeck's 10-day demand for wood will eat into this stuff. And then unload all that wood. And you become the Lübeck to Rostock wood. There we go. Happy days, and he's such another really skilled guy. All of my auto fleets are extremely skilled captains. And wood is so short right now, but we are eating into what we have. The question is if there's anywhere that I really should be dropping all that wood off at. Gotham City really wants it. Maybe I should just give it all to them so that they'll have plenty to make pitch with. Well, that's exactly what we have the likes of Wildcard Thagnus for. So he's going to pick up that wood like a real champ. They don't need food, do they? Oddly enough, the meat supply has really failed in the center. Do I even have a meat guy running the center? I'm going to find him and interrogate him. I'll put the terror in interrogate. Because that meat should be flowing. Meat center. What? That's all we have? It's a single crayer? Okay, it's 2 crayers. The game is telling me off for that. Well, the demand for meat in 1, 2, 3... Okay, Oslo I can ignore the demand for meat for because they produce the damn stuff. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... Right, I need to consider this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 places eating meat. The Hanseatic need 4 meat for 7 people, or 7 cities, times 11 days. So let's assume it was 10 cities for 10 days. So that's 600,000 population. In 10 days we'll want 3,468 units of meat, and we have 360. We're off by about a factor of 10. So I'm going to get you over to Neshved. Now, no doubt you're a very skilled captain, 0555, that's what we like to see, but you need to be a lot bigger. I could either carvel you up or speak to the crayers. We have a lot of crayers, but I like to keep those for, well, I mean I can use them for inland nodes, but something just seems right about using crayers for this. Because if I gave you 9, 10, 11, 12 crayers, then that's the capacity to get all that meat out to the people. So there, that will be the meat for the center. Get back to work, please. So they're going to go to Malmö. There's actually nothing to be gotten there. Same with Stettin, that's fine. And then go Go to Rostock and get that meat. Excellent. Now, Wildcard Thagnus, give them all the wood they could desire. And then drop off the rest with them because they clearly need it. There we go. Now they should be getting to work fine. The rest can go to Alberg because we kind of like Alberg. Otherwise, I don't even know. Back to Neshved with you. Or go and grab the free stuff. I like free stuff. Especially when it's flotsam. Containing meat. And clothes! Wow, we don't see clothes often. Take this stuff that I just found. We don't need it. I'm keeping those clothes though. I have an idea. I kind of want Rostock to hold on to lots of clothes. Even though we don't really have the warehouse space for it. I just want lots of clothes. Difficult one to say though, because I mean, we sell clothes until we have none left. No, let's actually try to keep some clothes. Basically because no one else can have them. So there you go. Hope you're happy. As I've said many times, we provide 8% of the global demand for clothes. And that really makes me laugh. Take off all your clothes and weigh them, and then put back on 8% of it by weight. That is how dressed my Hanseatic Denzians are. Jake, why do you think it's p4stream.fsb? I don't know why you're saying that. We all know why. I do like the fact that Rostock is so well provided that they lack for clothes. Okay, so I'm a little concerned that the tools are not flowing in right now. There is metal and wood in these internal cities, so they can make the goods there. Is Berlin the same? Berlin short on wood apparently, but you keep wood for your production. Metal is short there though. Bruges is meant to make me tons of metal, but it's just not flowing. Why is that? I should have a Bruges metal man. Bruges to Rostock, metal, Kumakun. Okay, he's made of cogs and he's just not big enough. So he needs to pick up some extra cogs. Yeah, actually, Bruges needs to get a lot more metal moving in general. Because the lack of metal goods is something that really inhibits the production of boats. Although they are also short on pitch right now. Where can I get some boats in Bruges? How much metal does Bruges make for me? I think they're my prime production of raw metal. Actually, no, it's Erfurt. Or Erfurt would be if it had the population. They just don't right now. Even after Erfurt, Helsinki is the one that's meant to be bringing in the metal. Erfurt, Helsinki, talk to me. Helsinki's going, please give me something to build with. Well, I mean, you should be fine right now, but we have dairies here and we have smelters here. Holy smokes, that's a lot of metal that needs to flow right now. So the wildcard Thagnus has 2 jobs. One is to go there and get that. Although, how is the Helsinki metal guy coming along? Helsinki to Aalborg metal? Okay, no, you are fixed. I just didn't rename you. Helsinki to Rostock metal. The tips, matey. Just the tip. Okay. Still, you're not big enough. I mean, I could replace you with a whole bunch of Carvels instead. Drop those cogs. I'm not sure if 6,000 will be enough. Probably not. Because Helsinki has, when it comes to metal, 381 metal production. And they produce 4 raw metal per day. So if I round that up to 10, they produce... Okay, I lost my count as well. There are, let's say, 400 of them. 10 days, 4,000 times 4. That's quite a lot. I'll need even more Carvels for that. But that's all the more reason that I really need to get my ship production up and running even further. So let's go and grab that metal since we clearly need it right now. And bring it back home. Hey Jake, just finished watching your Bad Ideas Girl on YouTube. Best EU4 campaign I've ever seen. Funnily enough, it's one of the best EU4 campaigns I've ever played. So I'm glad we're in agreement over that. Let's pick up that Bruges stuff as well. But notice that nowhere is starving. Notice that the money is utterly flowing in. Things aren't going bad by any stretch of the imagination. It's just that my convoys are not keeping up because I need a lot more of them. Convoys, you pretty much always need more of them. And boy, I wish that wood was flowing better. But look, we're almost out of wood. And we're almost out of clay, so that's not so good. Now Lübeck is trying its best to flood us with wood. They're our biggest wood producer behind Aarhus and Danzig. But Danzig can't even supply their own wood right now. And Aarhus are just busy being Aarhus, aka the best city in the Hansa right now. So can't hold them responsible for anything. But no, it's one of those things where the issues will resolve themselves. It'll take time though. It'll probably take quite a lot of time. We build up these building materials and then they just disappear. But every place that finishes their buildings, like Minden no longer is going to require all that wood and clay for buildings. And they need it for their smithies, sure, but that's to be expected. Now, I wonder how many of my boats have stopped and need reactivated. The Berlin to Rostock cloth guy, for example. Do I tell Berlin to have obscene amounts of cloth? I don't think I really have a supply set up for Berlin to get that cloth, and I won't really invest in it until I have an excess of cloth. Otherwise, who has failed me? Berlin to Rostock cloth, hammer time. They should have their metal stuff sorted soon. But I'm not seeing an extra flow of goods right now. I'll probably reactivate them anyway. In general, I should reactivate everyone I see. Worst case scenario is that they just stop shortly after. The Warsaw to Thorn honey shouldn't ever really stop, so I'm left wondering why they would. I mean, look at all these beekeepers. They should be running just fine. Can't even imagine why they wouldn't. Unless the supply guy for Warsaw accidentally picks up the honey, but that's something I could check later. Could, and probably will. Otherwise, Warsaw to Thorn wine. Are my wineries even running here? Why did I set up winery run if I didn't have wine? I have one. He makes 0.3 per day. So yeah, you don't need to be running anytime soon. Haarlem to Rostock honey. Yeah, I'll just reactivate all of these guys. Worst case scenario is that they stop. It's one of the more tedious things to do is go through all this. And there's a lot of tedium in this game. Danzig to Rostock would the no CB. There's not even a point. I know he won't run for a while. Pelts from Nestved should run again. Flensburg to Rostock tools. I should hope so. Tools I really want flowing. Man, making me all nostalgic for Bad Ideas Guy. I would love to do a Bad Ideas Guy 2.0. That would probably be one where the ideas are actually negatives for me. I could mod that in. Stettin to Rostock bricks is almost certainly not going to be going anywhere. The G virus. Scarborough to Rostock wood. I mean, hey, for all I know, Scarborough has produced enough wood that they can get back in the action. That fish should be flowing. There's no good reason for it not to. Unless Boston doesn't have enough wood, which is actually a reasonable concern. Another one there is Riga to Rostock. Riga probably has no wood to make salt with. And that's one of the biggest reasons that we ensured plenty of grain and cheese was flowing. The lack of wood means the lack of salt, and the lack of salt means lack of meat and fish. So I stockpiled a lot of meat, and fish I just kind of wrote off. So then we have at least 2 types of food, cheese and grain, that flows to prevent starvation. Very, very important. Now we can check to see that that's still the case in Rostock. We still have some meat kept up, and loads of cheese, and loads of grain. As intended. Hofnice says, I've got Patrician 3, couldn't really get into it. I can't get into it either. It crashes anytime I try to load it. And whilst I will try to find a solution later, because I really want to try it out, I'm not running for that right now. Alright, Thagnus. There's stuff to be had, and I want it. Especially if it's... why do you have so many tools here? Is the Malmö to Rostock tool guy just not working it? Malmö to Rostock tools Krivens. Well, he's active. Not only that, he's pretty meaty. Let's just double him up then. Malmö, when it comes to tools, has 100 of them, so that's 200 a day. So really, you should have been fine there, but now you should almost certainly be fine, so that's okay. Wildcard Thagnus just needs to drop off those tools. Man, those tools are really getting around. But I think it's pitch. No, it's wood actually for these guys. I'm still convinced that pitch is one of the things that's really lacking around here for production of boats. Well, these guys want cloth. Everybody wants everything. Jake, looking for an Even Worse Ideas Guy campaign. Also, thank you so much for uploading to YouTube. I know it's a pain to do, but it is appreciated. Thank you, Hofnice. That's not something I hear often, although I do voice often, that carving up things for YouTube is such a pain in the ass. Twitch doesn't make it easy, and I usually have to set aside a fair few hours on my weekend to do it. But I do it. It's pretty good for posterity, if I want to sound totally selfless. Alright, things are flowing pretty nicely here. I have no doubt that lots of my cities right now are backing up to the brim with what exactly? With goods that they're producing that aren't shipping out. I don't think Riga is one of them, because they can't even produce much salt without wood. But damn it, they can try. Also notice that there's fewer and fewer provinces that have buildings that need to be built now, which is good. Alright, Carvel time. You know, it'd probably be a lot less work if I just... And since I need to pass time anyway, I'm just going to go on a ride and find everyone that can join up with me. Rather than jumping from city to city, I'll just grab all my boats this way. Except the ones that are upriver. I don't mind that this takes time without me doing anything because, hey, we have plenty of time right now. I'm just waiting for places to be built up. I'm not afraid of starvation. And since I built almost everything everywhere, it's not like I have the usual worry of, oh no, the AI is going to build buildings everywhere. I'm sure they'll find some gaps that I have not considered, but otherwise we're good. Also, you're missing tools. What a shame. Flensburg to Rostock Pelt Fort Zombie. No longer in operation. I am the original traveling salesman. So yeah, if you microed hard, you'd be able to do this quite a bit more effectively. I ain't microing hard on anything. Okay, I got a crappy captain here, which is why we're so slow. We could be 10% faster if we were a better captain. I don't mind dumping stuff just yet. Let's keep on going. And I will take us back for some big old repairs soon. Dread to think just how much of this cargo space I'm going to just immediately throw away to my supply runs, leaving me with a Yet another huge demand for boats. Have we by now built more boats than were ever active in the Hansa? We personally own, if I can check that tooltip, probably want some out of this. Wow, you're still making cogs over in Bergen as well. Is that really what I want? No, and you're not doing any right now, so